these two angels' responsibility and duty is just to write down your deeds. One angel writes your good deeds. One angel writes your evil deeds, your sins. In fact, a very interesting thing today in our Islamic studies class I told the students was that we all know Allah is most kind and most forgiving. Allah is Rahman and Rahim. Even the way our deeds are recorded, it actually shows and reflects that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so kind that we cannot imagine. When Allah created these angels to write the deeds, we know what Allah said to them. Allah said to these angels, those who are Kiraman Katibeen, that means the honorable writers, those who write, the recorders. Allah said to them, "O my angels, I have created the human, the mankind, the men and women, and I have created you just to record their deeds. So what I order you to do is, you have to record good deeds and you have to record their sins. How will you record the good deeds?" Allah told them, "When my servant only imagines, plans, intends to do any good deed, and he or she has not done it yet, he or she have just planned in their mind, just intended, just desired that they are going to do this. For example, my servant intends to pay 100 euro to the masjid, or 50 euro, or my servant intends to pray Isha prayer tonight, or my servant will intend to fast the next day, and he just intends to do that. He has not performed that act yet. Allah ordered the angels, when my servant intends to do any good deed, I order you, write one good deed for him. Right? One good deed for him. So even if you have not fasted, you plan to fast, you already got the reward of fasting. Even if you did not pay anything yet, you just intended to pay, and maybe you didn't get the chance, maybe you forgot or anything happened, Allah already has ordered the angels, write down one good deed in the Nama-e-Amal of this person. On the other hand, the sins, Allah ordered the angel who writes the sin. Then Allah said, "O my angels, I know the human which I am creating now will be very weak, will be sinful. I want the human to have on the day of judgment more good deeds than bad deeds. So this is why I am arranging a system, a very strange system. And I order you, when my servant intends to do any sin, he plans to sin, he plans to commit any sin, he plans to steal, may Allah forbid, he plans to drink alcohol, for example, or he just plans to watch anything which is haram, forbidden. He only intends," Allah said, the angel asked, "Allah, do I also write it?" Allah said, "No, you don't write it. Don't write anything." Then on the other hand, the angel asked, "Allah, when your servant intends to do good thing, I will write it down. But tell me, what should I do when he intends to do good and he also acts upon it? When he plans to fast and he also fasts, what should I do?" Allah said, "I want my servant on the day of judgment to have more good deeds than bad deeds. So this is why when my servant does a good thing, I don't want you write down just once, write down for him that he has done that act, good deed 10 times. 10 times. So you just do one good thing, you get the reward of 10 good deeds." And then the other angel asked, "Ya Allah, and what about when your servant will sin? What do I do then?" Allah said, "When he sins, just write down one sin. Just one sin, not more." So Allah is so kind and forgiving that He has been telling the angels, and He has ordered them, commanded them to even record our deeds in such a way that on the day of judgment, Allah wants that our good deeds are given to us in our right hands. And this is the Quran. The Quran says those people who will be forgiven, who will enter paradise, one of their signs is on the day of judgment, when everybody will get the register of their deeds. Every human being will get a register of their deeds. You will get a register. That register will be full of your deeds. And if the angel, if you have more good deeds, the angel will give you that register in your right hand. This is why they are known as the people Ashabul Yameen. And the people who have more sins, they will be given the bad register, the register with that deeds in the left hand. So this is why one should always ask, when you are doing wudu, when you do ablution, one of the things you can always ask is, Allah, when you wash your right arm, Allah, on the day of judgment, give me my register of deeds, now my a'mal in my right hand. In my right hand. Now, we know this now. What happens is, when a person dies, obviously, his deeds are closed. Your actions the chapter is closed. Because now you are not living, so you cannot perform anything, any deed. You cannot sin, and you cannot do anything, any good deed. So because you are not there, your good deeds, because of you, cannot grow. Or sins cannot grow. Neither can they. So they stay where they are. However, Allah's kindness, and this is the beauty of Allah's forgiveness. Allah's kindness is beyond imagination. Allah, in the life, He gave you so many ways of getting more good deeds. Like He gave us the one night in Ramadan. What do we call that special night in Ramadan? There is one special night in Ramadan. Laylatul Qadr. What is Laylatul Qadr? Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. It is a night in which if you worship, you get the reward of worshipping as you have worshipped Allah for 1,000 months. 1,000 months. He gives you nights like that. What happens is, when you die, Allah's forgiveness does not stop there. Allah's kindness does not stop there. He is still kind to us. What He does, this is the beauty, and this is what we're discussing now. Allah has said, "Oh my servants, if somebody dies, then they cannot do anything to get good deeds, and they cannot commit any sin. However, it may be possible that someone's good deeds are not sufficient, that on the day of judgment they will get it on the right hand. Someone may have been a weak Muslim, weak practicing Muslim, or someone would have maybe a disobedient person, or maybe somebody is obedient, but in paradise, he desires to get a higher place than he already deserves. So Allah said, there is one other way of getting that. Allah is so kind. He said, "Oh my servants, when somebody dies, but after them, if anybody prays on behalf of that person, if anybody does any deed on behalf of that person, any good deed, then what I will do is, I am so kind, I will give that person the reward also, but at the same time, for whom he intended to do it, I will give him also a reward." And this is the Quran.